We begin today's show by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are recording, and we pay our respect to the elders past and present. We also pay respects to any First Nations people listening to our show today.
We recognise the South Africans who have worked tirelessly over the years for their rights and equality and human rights for all.
Hi and welcome. Today, another Raising Our Voices show on 3CR 8:55 AM. We are a self-advocacy radio show run by people with a disability about people with a disability. Nothing about us without us. Today's show is our celebration of International Women's Day. We are going to be talking about the experience of women who have a disability. I'm Lisa, and I'm joined by Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
Heather, you're also a new member of Raising Our Voices. Could you introduce yourself as well?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Heather. I have got an intellectual disability. I do paid work once a week, and I also do volunteer work.
Before we begin, I wanted to give a heads up to our listeners today. Today's chat will include some discussion about domestic violence, abuse, and disability discrimination. Heather, what do you think is important for listeners to know about issues that women with intellectual disabilities might experience?
From my lived experience, one of them is that I was out for a drink one night and the ambulance was called because I needed their help. While they were helping me out, my phone got stolen. I let the police know and they went over the footage saying that they saw the guy that stole my phone. They told me and the paramedics that they will let the police know. 3 days later, just after getting out of hospital, I reported to the police about my stolen phone. They told me it was a bit too late to report it. I feel that the police did not take me seriously by what they said to me. When the police started looking into it, they told me that the video footage had been deleted and couldn't do anything about it. What if this was more of a serious crime? It is not the first time something like this has happened. I have had a few things stolen from me in the past and they haven't really taken me seriously back then either.
And I don't know if the language can be used on radio. It was a shitty thing to have happened. Even more than that, it was a shitty thing for the police to react like that. More than shitty, actually. And I don't know how to say it more. It was in a way, I mean, even though it didn't have punches or anything like that, it was extremely violent.
Yeah, I've actually shared this experience with the Royal Commission and also the other times when the police have not taken me seriously and the police went off when my things have been stolen from me and nothing has been done about it. And if it's someone without a disability, the police would take them more seriously. because you hear it on the news all the time. So I really want to get that story out to the Royal Commission because it was really getting me down and making me very emotional. I've also been talking to a counsellor about it, which has really helped.
For those listeners who have not yet heard about the Disability Royal Commission, here is some information. The Royal Commission into Violence, Abuse, Neglect and Exploitation of People with a Disability is happening in Australia right now. You can share your story anytime before the 31st of December this year, or you can request a private phone session to share your story anytime before the 30th of June this year. For more information, visit disability.royalcommission.gov.au or call 1800 517 199. 1800 517 199. Free of charge translators and interpreters are available. You can also get support from a disability advocacy organisation to share your story with the Disability Royal Commission if you need help to do this. Heather, is there anything else you want to share about the issues that women with intellectual disability might experience?
Yes, from a number of my experiences, healthcare workers should take women with a disability more seriously. I've had many times, I've had doctors just write me off or say not believe my medical history and denied the medication I was on and my medical conditions.
Can I ask you something now about that in particular?
Yeah.
How do they make that decision and absolutely ignore you, or on what do they base that decision on? Like, because if you like to see you, you can't tell you have an intellectual disability or any other kind of disability.
They do it because I have an intellectual disability.
So do they know your history?
I went to see a new doctor and they denied my medical history. I was telling them my medical history.
And what, they called you a liar?
Practically, yes.
Wow. I'm so sorry. That's total shock.
They have to get more disability awareness out there to healthcare workers because that should not be happening.
No. You're right. These are educated people, or so it seems, educated people. So why it's happening, I have no idea.
Because of that lived experience and other lived experiences with healthcare workers, I now have to have a support worker with me to see my own doctor, so he takes me more seriously.
That's amazing. I'm so sorry. I'm in awe. I'm just in shock.
Yeah. But my support worker thinks that my daughter is a bit of a rat bag.
Why?
Oh, because he doesn't take me seriously. He tries to get the easy way out and yeah, he doesn't want me to have certain tests to find out what's wrong with me, so I end up in hospital.
And he's still your doctor?
Hey?
And he's still your doctor?
Yeah. I am looking for a new doctor though.
Oh, that's good. We will be right back after a couple of announcements and a song called Echoes by Eliza Hull. The song you just heard was Echoes by Eliza Hall. Eliza Hall is an Australian musician who is also a woman with a disability. Eliza recently released a book about being a person with a disability called We've Got This. Heather Smith, who is with us today, has shared her story of being a mother with a disability in this book.
I'm actually very happy that I put my story in that book, just to let everyone know what's happening with parents with an intellectual disability and how child protection are taking our children away because we've got an intellectual disability.
And that's the reason that they give.
No, they find up other reasons.
That may not actually exist.
Yeah.
You'd think they had something better to do with their time.
Yeah, they did it to parents who are Aboriginal as well. So it's just not fair. I'm a part of a self-advocacy group, Positive Powerful Parents, who is run by and for parents with an intellectual disability who have kept or have got their children taken away from child protection. Most of the parents have their children taken away, but there are some in our group who have kept our children. So, yeah, I won't say any names. If there's any listeners out there who are parents with an intellectual disability, you can find the Positive Powerful Parents website at positivepowerfulparents.com.au, and we also have got 2 Facebook pages, a red Facebook page and a purple Facebook page. The red Facebook page is for parents and friends, and the purple Facebook page is for parents only.
For those listeners who have just popped in, you're listening to Raising Our Voices on 3CR on 8:55 AM or 3CR Digital and streaming at 3cr.org.au. Raising Our Voices is a radio show run by people with a disability about people with a disability. Nothing about us without us. Today we are celebrating International Women's Day by sharing the experience of women with a disability. So far we have talked about, with Heather, we have talked about the healthcare system, police who treat women with a disability differently, to say the least, differently, and the child protection system. We've also talked about the Disability Royal Commission and how women with a disability can share their stories. Discrimination based coming from the entire community on a level that is not really, it's not really discriminatory, and it's not really violent, and it's not really abusive, but they are, because it's at best, how I can describe it, is social discrimination, because there's not a particular discrimination that I face, except that it's rampant on every level. And I really don't know what more I can say about it. It's just, it's actually pitiful. And we're talking, I can compare it to what Putin has done to to Russia and to the Ukraine. In that it's just, I don't really know. It's just so pitiful. It's just really stupidly pitiful is the best way I can describe it. And stupid being a really negative expression from my part. And it should be criminal.
How often would you face discrimination?
As often as I'm outside my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I get it like even when I'm walking, because I walk with a limp.
Yeah.
I can see it on people's faces.
I've got a friend who has an acquired brain injury,
mm-hmm.
and it has affected his speech.
Mm-hmm.
And one time he was in a shopping centre and he was saying hi to this lady, and she thought he was harassing her. So she
saying
called
hello.
the security guard, and the security guard kicked him out of the shopping centre, and he was banned there for a certain amount of time.
I'm not surprised. I don't know what to say about that. It's just where we are.
I think they should have disability awareness around acquired brain injuries.
Oh, they should definitely do that.
Yeah.
They should just have disability awareness around every disability.
Yeah.
Given that we're all human, we were all born with the same number of chromosomes, and we've got our disability anyway. So it's not a chromosomal disability. So you can't say we're of a different species or anything. I don't know, basically it's a simple matter of acceptance. And I don't know why that is so difficult. There are plenty of organisations out there, but they're not organisations with power. Do you know what I mean? Or authority? Because the bad stuff happens anyway, and I suppose that's life. But the bad stuff that happens kind of seeps into other people's lives. And I don't know how to get rid of it.
I think the government should give funding to all of the self-advocacy groups so they can do projects in raising awareness on disability to the public out there who may not know what's happening behind closed doors.
Again, how can they not know?
I don't know. I think that's why they've got the Disability Royal Commission.
Yes, but this happened before the Royal Commission started.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the reason for the Royal Commission at all. Anyway, it's just a mess.
I know that the self-advocacy group Reinforce, we're working together with women with a disability on a project, but I haven't got enough information on it yet. So we're aiming to do that.
Related to this, I've done a course with Women with Disabilities Victoria about empowerment of women with a disability. And they've done those kind of courses before and since.
I would like to mention women with a disability have the right to choose their own support workers, whether it's a lady worker or a man worker, because as a lady myself, sometimes I just feel uncomfortable with male workers, just because of the lived experience I had when I was in my 20s. I won't go into it, but yeah.
Yeah. If you have only just tuned in, we are raising our voices on 3CR 8:55 AM. And today we talked about the experience of women with a disability. Thank you to Heather Smith for sharing your experiences. Some of today's chat were about difficult topics like abuse and disability discrimination. This might have brought up some difficult feelings for people listening today. A reminder, if you have experienced or are at risk of sexual assault or domestic violence, you can call the National Counselling Hotline on 1-800-RESPECT or 1-800-737-732. If you're feeling overwhelmed or thinking about self-harm or suicide, call Lifeline Crisis Support on 13 11 14. That's 131114 at any time. There is also the Disability Royal National Commission National Counselling and Referral Service that you can call on 1-800-421-468. That's 1-800-421-468. For some more information about sharing your story with the Disability Royal Commission we talked about today, visit disability.royalcommission.gov.au or call 1-800-517-199. And a reminder that you can get support of a disability advocacy organisation like AMIDA to share your story. Thanks for listening to Raising Our Voices on 3CR 8:55 AM, a radio show that's run by people with a disability about people with a disability. Join us next month where we'll have guest speakers from the self-advocacy group called Power in Culture and Ethnicity, which is a group run by and for people with a disability from non-English speaking backgrounds. Now stay tuned for Margin Voice.
You've been listening to a 3CR podcast produced in the studios of independent community radio station 3CR in Melbourne, Australia. For more information, go to allthews.3cr.org.au.